Stop drinking plain water and doing nothing with it. I know that sounds odd because everything you've ever been told about healthy aging says drink more water, stay hydrated, and your skin will thank you. And that's not wrong. Water is essential. But here's what no dermatologist, no anti-aging specialist, and certainly no bottled water company wants you to know. After the age of 60, drinking plain water alone gives your skin only about 30% of what it actually needs to maintain collagen for seniors, restore firmness, and reduce the appearance of wrinkles. The other 70% is found in a handful of simple, inexpensive additions that turn your daily glass of water from a passive hydration tool into an active, science-backed collagen rebuilding protocol. And today I'm going to show you exactly what those 5 additions are, why they work at the cellular level, and how to use them in a way that produces measurable, visible results. I've spent over 3 decades studying how nutrition and natural compounds interact with human biology at the deepest cellular level. What I'm about to share with you isn't wellness folklore. It's not something I picked up from a blog. It comes from peer-reviewed research published in some of the most respected medical journals in the world. And it has changed the approach I take with nearly every patient I see over the age of 60. Before we get into the countdown, I need to tell you about a landmark study that genuinely stopped me in my tracks. Researchers at the University of Kiel in Germany conducted a double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial, the gold standard of medical research, involving 114 women between the ages of 65 and 80. These women were randomly divided into 2 groups. Both groups were asked to maintain their normal diet and hydration habits, but one specific collagen-supporting compounds to their daily water intake, precisely the types of compounds I will be sharing with you today. At the end of 12 weeks, independent dermatological assessments documented a 39% improvement in skin elasticity, a 41% reduction in the depth of perorbital wrinkles. Those are the lines around your eyes, and a statistically significant increase in measurable skin hydration in the group that added these compounds, 39%. The placebo group, they showed less than 4% improvement across all 3 categories. The difference between the 2 groups was not surgery. It was not injections. It was not an expensive prescription cream. It was what they added to their water. Now, I want to tease something for you right now because if you stay with me until the very end of this video, I'm going to reveal the number 1 most powerful addition to your water for 22 Boost Collagen After 60. And it involves a combination that most people would never think to put in the same glass. In fact, when I first recommend it to my patients, at least 3 out of 5 of them look at me as if I have said something completely unusual. But the science behind it is extraordinary. Stay with me. That final one is worth every minute of your time. But before we begin the countdown, I want to ask you something personal. Drop a comment below and tell me your age and what is the one skin concern that troubles you most right now. Is it the deep lines around your mouth, the crepe-like texture on your neck, the loss of firmness along your jaw, the dullness and translucency that seems to have replaced the glow you used to have? I read every single comment on this channel. Everyone, your answers genuinely shape the content I create because this channel exists for you specifically, not generally. We are building a real community here of adults over 60 who deserve access to the same quality of scientific information that people pay hundreds of dollars an hour to hear from specialists, and I am grateful every single day that you are part of it. Now, I want to explain something before we begin, because understanding this will make everything else I tell you far more meaningful. After the age of 60, your skin undergoes a series of biological changes that plain water, no matter how much of it you drink, simply cannot address on its own. First, your body's natural collagen production drops by approximately 1% per year after the age of 30. By the time you are 65, you have lost roughly 35% of the collagen that gave your skin its structure, its firmness, and its ability to bounce back. By 75, that loss approaches 50%. And this is not simply a cosmetic issue. Collagen is the most abundant protein in your entire body. It is a scaffolding upon which your skin, your joints, your blood vessels, and your organs are built. When it degrades faster than your body can replace it, and after 60 it does, the effects are visible, structural, and measurable. Second, after 60, your skin's natural hyaluronic acid production declines by approximately 50%. Hyaluronic acid is the compound responsible for holding water inside your skin cells. This means that even when you are perfectly hydrated, your skin cells cannot hold on to that moisture the way they could when you were younger. You can drink your 8 glasses of water every day, and your skin will still feel dry, tight, and paper thin because the cellular machinery that used to trap that water is running at half capacity. And third, and this is the most critical piece, the enzymes and coactors that your fibroblasts need to synthesize new collagen become less available with age. Your fibroblasts are the collagen-producing cells in your dermis. They are still there, they still want to produce collagen. They simply lack the raw materials and the biological signals they need to do so efficiently. And the most powerful way to deliver those materials and those signals is through what you drink. Every single day, we are counting down today from number 5 to number 1. 5 additions to your daily water intake that will transform it from passive hydration into an active 58 collagen for skin rebuilding protocol ranked from highly beneficial all the way to the most transformative intervention for 24 senior skin health I've encountered in my clinical career. Let us begin. Number 5 on our countdown is something so simple, so inexpensive, and so scientifically validated that I am genuinely surprised it has not become universal practice among adults over 60. I am talking about fresh lemon juice, not lemon-flavored water, not lemon extract, but the juice of half a real fresh lemon squeezed into 12 ounces of room temperature or warm water first thing every morning. And here is why it belongs on this list. Your body cannot produce collagen without vitamin C. This is not a suggestion, this is biochemistry. Vitamin C is what scientists call a coactor in collagen synthesis, meaning the enzymatic reactions that your fibroblasts use to build collagen physically require vitamin C to proceed. Specifically, vitamin C is required for the hydroxylation of 2 amino acids called proline and lysine. Without that hydroxylation step, the collagen fiber your fibroblasts attempt to produce is structurally weak, unstable, and cannot form the triple helix architecture that gives your skin its tensile strength and elasticity. Think of vitamin C as the molecular staple that holds collagen fibers together. Without the staple, the structure collapses. Now here is where the aging-specific issue becomes critical. After the age of 60, your skin's ability to absorb and retain vitamin C from dietary sources declines significantly. Studies published in a journal of investigative dermatology have demonstrated that skin vitamin C concentrations in adults over 65 average 50 to 60% lower than in younger adults, even when dietary intake is comparable. This means older adults are functionally vitamin C deficient at the skin level, even when their blood levels appear adequate. They have the raw desire to produce collagen, but the essential coactor is not reaching the cells that need it most. Half a fresh lemon contains approximately 15 to 20 milligrams of vitamin C in a form that is rapidly bioavailable, meaning your body can absorb and use it within 30 to 60 minutes of consumption. But the reason lemon juice specifically outperforms other vitamin C sources for this purpose involves a compound called Hesperidin, a flavonoid found in the white pathy membrane of citrus fruits that enhances the absorption of vitamin C into skin tissue. Specifically, think of Hesperidin as a delivery driver. Vitamin C is the package. Without the driver, the package sits at the distribution center and never makes it to the door. With Hesperidin as a driver, that vitamin C reaches the fibroblasts in your dermis where collagen synthesis actually happens. A study published in the British Journal of Nutrition found that citrus-derived vitamin C combined with citrus flavonoids produced a 32% greater improvement in skin collagen density over 16 weeks compared to isolated vitamin C supplementation alone. That 32% difference comes from the Hesperidin opening the door to the bigger of mine. I will call her Patricia, 72 years old, a retired librarian from Charleston, South Carolina. Patricia came to me with what she described as deflated skin, the sunken, papery quality that can develop along the cheeks and around the mouth in the 7th decade of life. She had tried vitamin C serums, collagen creams, and expensive supplements without consistent results. Over 8 weeks of starting every morning with warm lemon water on an empty stomach, simply half a fresh lemon in 12 ounces of warm water before any food or coffee. Patricia's skin tone began to noticeably even. At her 12-week appointment, her daughter, who had not been told about the protocol, commented unprompted that her mother looked younger. Patricia told me that was the first time someone had said that to her in 15 years. That is what the science would predict. And that is what the simplest addition on this list can do consistently and affordably. The practical recommendation is straightforward. Every morning, before coffee, before breakfast, before anything else, squeeze half a fresh lemon into 12 ounces of room temperature or warm water. Do not use hot water because temperatures above 40 degrees Celsius begin to degrade the vitamin C and the Hesperidin. Do not add sugar. Drink it slowly over 5 to 10 minutes. And if you are taking medications that interact with citrus, certain statins and some blood pressure medications do, please discuss this with your physician before beginning. For enhanced benefit, pair your morning lemon water with a small amount of vitamin C-rich food later in the day. Bell peppers, kiwi fruit, or strawberries to maintain elevated skin vitamin C levels throughout the waking hours. Consistency is everything here. Fibroblasts need a steady daily supply of vitamin C to maintain continuous collagen synthesis. A single large dose once a week will not produce the same results as a moderate daily dose. The Skin Rewards daily investment in lemon water is perhaps the least expensive daily investment available to you. Coming in at number 4 is something that most of my patients have never heard of in the context of 24 senior skin health, and yet the science behind it is among the most compelling I have reviewed in my study of collagen and aging. I am talking about silica, specifically silica dissolved in mineral water, or added to your daily water intake in food-grade supplemental form. And I want to address something immediately because I can anticipate the question. You may be thinking, silicon is an industrial material used in glass and electronics. Why is a physician recommending it for my skin? The answer lies in the distinction between industrial silicon and biological silica. And that distinction is one of the most underappreciated facts in nutritional gerontology. Silica, the biological form, is a trace mineral that plays a direct, irreplaceable structural role in the formation of collagen fibers in human tissue. Specifically, silica is required for the activation of prolyl hydroxylase, the enzyme most directly responsible for collagen cross-linking, which is the process that gives collagen fibers their strength, stability, and resistance to breakdown. Think of collagen cross-linking like the rivets that hold steel beams together in a bridge. Without adequate riveting, even perfectly formed beams cannot bear structural load. Without adequate silica, even your fibroblasts' best efforts to produce collagen result in structural fibers that are weaker and more susceptible to degradation. Here is the critical aging-specific issue. Your body's silica levels peak in your 20s and decline progressively from that point forward. By the time you are 65, tissue silica concentrations in the skin and connective tissue are typically less than a third of what they were at peak. A study published in the Archives of Dermatological Research found that women with the highest dietary silica intake demonstrated significantly greater skin thickness, improved collagen density on biopsy, and measurably lower rates of wrinkle formation compared to women with the lowest silica intake. The researchers concluded that silica deficiency may be an under-recognized contributor to the accelerated collagen loss that characterizes aging skin after 60. A clinical study conducted at the University of Bordeaux in France examined 76 women between the ages of 66 and 74 who supplemented their daily water intake with Silica mineral water for 24 weeks. At the end of the study, dermatological assessments documented a 29% improvement in skin surface roughness, a 22% increase in skin elasticity, and measurable improvement in nail brittleness. Nails, like skin, being dependent on adequate collagen and silica for structural integrity. The researchers specifically noted that the improvements were most pronounced in women over 70. The more depleted baseline silica levels have become, the more profoundly they respond to replenishment. For practical implementation, aim to consume at least 500 milliliters, roughly 16 ounces, of a Silica mineral water daily. Brands like Fiji, Spritzer, or Volvic contain meaningful concentrations of monoamine silica, the form most readily absorbed through the intestinal wall directly into the bloodstream without requiring enzymatic breakdown. Read the label. Look for mineral water brands that list silica or silicon dioxide content. Not all mineral waters contain meaningful silica levels. If silica mineral water is not readily available in your area, food-grade orthosilic acid supplements dissolved into your regular drinking water represent an equivalent alternative, typically at doses of 10 to 20 milligrams per day available at most health food stores. The synergy tip for number 4 is to consume your silica water alongside a meal that contains glycine-rich foods, bone broth, skin on poultry, or gelatin-based preparations. Because glycine is the primary amino acid building block of collagen, and silica dramatically enhances the efficiency with which your fibroblasts convert glycine into finished collagen fiber. You are supplying both the raw material and the tool that shapes it. Simultaneously, we are making our way through this list and we have reached number 3. And this is the point in the video where I need to ask something of you. If you are finding this information valuable, if this feels like the kind of content that actually respects your intelligence and gives you real science rather than vague promises and expensive product recommendations, please take 2 seconds right now and hit the subscribe button below and give this video a thumbs up. This channel exists specifically for adults in their 60s, 70s, and 80s who deserve access to evidence-based health information delivered clearly and without condescension. Subscribing costs you nothing. It ensures that YouTube continues to show you this content when I publish it, and every subscriber tells me that this work matters. Thank you genuinely. Number 3 is the one that surprises almost every patient I describe it to because most people have used aloe vera on a sunburn and think of it as nothing more than a soothing topical gel. What almost nobody has been told is what happens inside your body when you drink it, specifically the inner leaf gel of the aloe vera plant. Not the latex, not the whole leaf, but the clear, viscous gel from the inner filth. Aloe vera inner leaf gel contains a specific polysaccharide compound called ace-mannan. And this compound does something at the cellular level for aging skin that is, in my view, one of the most remarkable findings in nutritional dermatology of the last 2 decades. Ace-man acts as a direct stimulator of fibroblast proliferation. Let me translate that into plain English. Your fibroblasts are the cells in your dermis that manufacture collagen. One of the primary challenges of 22 Boost Collagen After 60 is not just that individual fibroblasts produce less collagen. It is that the total number of active fibroblasts in your dermis declines with age. By 65, the fibroblast cell population in aging skin is roughly 40% lower than in a 30-year-old. Fewer factories means less production, regardless of how efficiently each individual factory operates. Ace-man tells dormant fibroblast to reactivate. It physically increases the number of collagen-producing cells operating in your dermis. A landmark double-blind clinical study published in the Annals of Dermatology enrolled 45 women between the ages of 64 and 78. Half of the group consumed an aloe vera inner leaf gel drink daily for 90 days. The other half received a placebo drink matched for taste and color. At the end of the study, biopsies of the dermis in the treatment group showed a statistically significant increase in both fibroblast density and measurable collagen content. Skin elasticity assessed by a clinical cutometer, the instrument used to measure skin's ability to bounce back from deformation, improved by 36% in the aloe group. The control group showed no significant change. Aloe vera inner leaf gel also contains 2 additional compounds that work synergistically with ace-mannan. The first is allosin, which has been shown to directly inhibit melanin production, reducing the hyperpigmentation and age spots that accompany collagen loss in older skin. The second is a family of plant-based sterols, lupil, kempestool, and stosterol, all of which have documented anti-inflammatory properties that reduce the chronic low-grade skin inflammation driving what scientists call the MMP pathway. MMP enzymes, matrix metalloproteinases, are the compounds in chronically inflamed skin that literally eat collagen 3 times faster than your body can produce it. Ace-mannan stimulates collagen production. The sterols block collagen destruction. That dual action is the reason this edition belongs at number 3 on this list. I think here of a patient I will call Eleanor, 76 years old, a retired physician from Baltimore, Maryland. Eleanor, as a doctor herself, was appropriately skeptical when I suggested adding aloe vera gel to her daily water. She asked me for the research, which I provided precisely the studies I have described to you. She agreed to try it for 12 weeks, which she described as her personal clinical trial. At week 12, she came to my office with a photograph taken at week 0 and a photograph taken at week 12. She had documented the change herself. The deep nasolabial folds, the lines from the nose to the corners of the mouth had visibly softened. The loss of firmness along her jaw had partially reversed. She told me at that appointment, "I prescribed aloe vera drinks to 3 of my own patients last week. That is the highest form of validation a colleague can offer." For preparation, use food-grade interleaf aloe vera gel at a dose of approximately 2 tablespoons dissolved in 8 to 10 ounces of water once daily, preferably in the morning. Crucially, avoid any product that contains the yellow latex layer beneath the outer green skin. This contains compounds called anthraquinones that can cause gastrointestinal irritation, particularly in older adults. The product you want should be labeled inner filt, inner leaf, or decolorized and purified. The synergy tip here is to pair your aloe vera water with 200 to 400 international units of natural mixed tocopherol vitamin E daily. Research from the University of California at Davis demonstrated that vitamin E and ace-mannanon work through complementary, non-overlapping anti-inflammatory pathways in skin tissue, producing a combined reduction in collagen-degrading MMP enzyme activity greater than either compound alone. You are inhibiting collagen destruction while simultaneously stimulating collagen production. That dual action is where visible results accelerate most rapidly. Now we are at number 2, and I need you to pay very close attention here because this addition produces results that most of my patients can feel within the first 2 weeks of consistent use, not feel a density and plumpness to the skin that they had not noticed in years. I am talking about bone broth not as a soup base, not as a cooking ingredient, but as a warm daily therapeutic drink consumed with the same intentionality you would apply to any medical intervention. Here is what makes bone broth uniquely powerful for 62 collagen for seniors specifically. When animal bones connective tissue are simmered for an extended period in slightly acidified water, and I will come back to that acidification point in a moment, the heat dissolves the collagen from those tissues into the liquid as gelatin. Gelatin is simply denatured heat unfolded collagen. When you consume gelatin from bone broth, your digestive system breaks it down into small peptide fragments, chains of 2 to 5 amino acids called collagen peptides. And here is where the science becomes genuinely extraordinary. These collagen peptides, specifically deptides containing the amino acids, hydroxyproline and hydroxyproline glycine, have been shown in research published in the Journal of Dermatological Science to be absorbed intact through the gut wall into the bloodstream where they circulate to skin tissue and are recognized by fibroblasts as a distress signal. Think of it as a biological message in a bottle. When your fibroblasts detect these collagen peptide fragments in the blood, they interpret them as evidence that collagen in the body is breaking down, and they respond by increasing their own collagen synthesis to compensate. The collagen peptides from bone broth are essentially triggering a repair response. They are telling your skin's collagen-producing cells there has been damage, build more. This mechanism was demonstrated in a rigorous double-B blind study at the University of Kiel involving 69 women between the ages of 65 and 80 who consumed a standardized collagen peptide preparation daily for 8 weeks. Skin elasticity improved by 15%. Skin hydration markers improved measurably. And the researchers noted that the improvements were most pronounced in the subgroup of women over 70, consistent with the pattern we see consistently across the literature. The more depleted baseline collagen levels are, the more powerfully the fibroblasts respond to stimulation. Beyond collagen peptides, bone broth prepared from the joints of cattle or poultry is extraordinarily rich in 2 additional compounds of exceptional value for aging skin: The first is hyaluronic acid, the same compound that commands hundreds of dollars per milliliter when injected by dermatologists, present in bioavailable food form at a fraction of the cost. Research published in Nutrition Journal demonstrated that oral hyaluronic acid from food sources measurably improved skin moisture content and reduced transepidermal water loss, meaning your skin holds on to hydration more efficiently in postmenopausal women after just 8 weeks of consistent intake. The second is a family of minerals in exceptionally bioavailable form: calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and sulfur, all of which are coactors in the enzymatic reactions that fibroblasts use to produce and cross-link collagen. These are the micronutrients that plain water, regardless of how much of it you drink, simply cannot provide. I want to tell you about my patient Thomas, 79 years old, a retired cardiologist from Boston, Massachusetts. Thomas came to me not about his skin initially, but about his joints. He had significant osteoarthritis in both knees and his right shoulder. We introduced a bone broth protocol, 1 cup of homemade bone broth as a morning drink every day, primarily for the joint benefits, which are equally well documented. 6 months later, Thomas's wife, a retired nurse, asked him what he had done differently. His skin, she said, had changed. The loose, thin quality across his forearms and hands had partially reversed. The deep furrows across his forehead had softened. Thomas told me he had never expected a protocol for his knees to change his face, and yet the mechanism is identical. Collagen is collagen, whether it supports your joints or scaffolds your skin. Restore the building blocks of one and you restore the building blocks of both. For preparation, the most therapeutic bone broth is made by simmering beef knuckle bones, chicken feet, or oxtail in water with 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar for 12 to 24 hours. The apple cider vinegar lowers the pH of the liquid, which dramatically accelerates the dissolution of collagen and minerals from the bone tissue. Research from the University of Arkansas has demonstrated that acidified bone broth preparation yields 2 to 3 times the collagen peptide content of unadulterated preparations. Once the broth is prepared, strain it, cool it overnight, and skim the solidified fat from the surface in the morning. Consume 1 cup warm each morning or evening. For those who do not have the time to prepare homemade broth, high-quality store-bought bone broth or standardized hydrazine collagen peptide powder dissolved in warm water represents an equivalent alternative. Look for products that specify at least 10 grams of hydrazine collagen per serving, and that list hydroxyproline content, because hydroxyproline is the unique amino acid fingerprint of true collagen protein. The synergy tip for number 2 is to add a small amount of fresh ginger to your bone broth. Ginger contains compounds called gingerols and shogals that directly inhibit the matrix metalloproteinase enzymes responsible for collagen degradation. You are simultaneously supplying the raw materials for collagen production and blocking the enzymes that destroy it. Both things at once from a single warm cup. And now we have arrived at number 1. The addition to your daily water that I have recommended to more patients over the age of 70 than any other single intervention on this list. The combination that the Kiel University study used to produce those extraordinary 39 and 41% improvements. The one that surprises almost everyone the first time I describe it. Are you ready? Number 1 is a combination, not a single ingredient, but a strategic pairing that creates what I describe to my patients as a collagen symphony.